things are heating up. Not only the weather, but also in basketball. It's the most exciting time of the NBA season. That's the off season. It's NBA free agency. It is the hottest. It's getting even hotter. This is Captain Boring. This is your 10-minute sports report. I'm going to take you through all the news. I'm going to take you through NBA free agency, and I'm going to take you through the lowest salary teams in baseball. That is Duke, my dog. Let's get to it. We're going to start in the diamond as the Baltimore Orioles are now on a 2-game losing streak. They lose 3-1 and 11-7 to the Cincinnati Reds. They now sit 5.5 games back of the Tampa Bay Rays. Speaking of those Rays, they still have the best record in all of baseball at 56-28. They're now on a 2-game winning streak after beating the Diamondbacks 3-2 and 6-1. They sit 5.5 games up of the O's in the East. The Pittsburgh Pirates, well, they might have something going now. They beat the Padres 9-4, 7-1, and 5-4, a 3-game winning streak. They sit 4.5 games back of the NL Central leaders, who are the Cincinnati Reds and the Milwaukee Brewers combined. They are tied with the Chicago Cubs at 4.5 games back, and they both are 4 games under 500 at 38-42. Speaking of the Cincinnati Reds, they are on a 2-game win streak themselves. They lost to the Orioles 10-3. That's where I last lost you. That was a 3-game winning streak. They then went on to beat the Orioles 3-1 and 11-7. They sit atop the NL Central, or tied for it, at 5 games over 500, 43 and 38 on a 2-game winning streak. Let's take a look around the division leaders. It's still the Tampa Bay Rays in the AL East, 5 games up. The Minnesota Twins only lead the Cleveland Guardians by a half game now in the AL Central. And the Texas Rangers lead the Houston Astros by 5 games in the AL West. Over to the National League, the Atlanta Braves are on a 5-game winning streak, and they lead the Miami Marlins by 6 games. The Milwaukee Brewers are on a 2-game winning streak and, as I previously mentioned, are tied with the Cincinnati Reds. And finally, the Arizona Diamondbacks are on a 2-game losing streak, lead the Los Angeles Dodgers by 2 games. We're going to just quickly check in on the wild card standing situation here. The Orioles, the Yankees, and the Blue Jays all lead the American League wild card standings and would all make the playoffs. The Astros and the Angels are a half game and a game and a half game back, respectively. Boston has slipped to 5 games back. The Miami Marlins and the Los Angeles Dodgers lead the National League wild card, followed by the San Francisco Giants. Those 3 teams would all make the National League playoff if the season ended today. The Philadelphia Phillies, who are on a 4-game winning streak, the Milwaukee Brewers and Cincinnati Reds trail the Giants for that final wild card spot, a game and a half and 2 games, respectively. Alrighty, time to hit you with the hard-hitting news. James Harden opted into his $35 million contract. Why is that surprising? Because he's going to be traded. That's what that means. The door is not closed for James Harden to remain a Sixer. However, the Philadelphia 76ers is much easier to move on from him if he opts in, because then they can trade him and get some players back. He then can sign a long-term deal with whatever team he is traded to. James Harden also has a history with Sixer GM Daryl Morey, who was the GM in Houston. They are very fond of each other. James Harden is trying to do right by Daryl Morey. Daryl Morey is trying to do right by James Harden. My guess is James Harden gets traded to the Clippers, the Knicks, or the Houston Rockets. Also, the 76ers are not offering Tyrese Maxey a contract extension. Why? Because the reports are that they want to trade for Portland Trailblazer All-Star and All-NBA point guard Damian Lillard. If you don't sign Maxey, you free up a max contract cap spot. So in the NBA, they have these things called max contracts, which is the most a player can get over a certain period of time. It's normally 5 years. You can only have so many slots of those available per team, and you are allowed to have 2 or 3 per team. Damian Lillard is a max contract player, so if you trade for him, you need to have a slot available for him. By not extending Tyrese Maxey, that opens up the possibility. And even if they don't trade for Damian Lillard this offseason, they could go at hard after someone in free agency next offseason. Kyrie Irving wants to meet with teams that he will find his forever home with. The problem is he's meeting with teams that don't have the cap space to sign him. So this is going to be very interesting. He could be a part of the Houston Rockets. Irving is not their number one wish list, Brian Windhorst of ESPN reports. I don't think you'll see movement from Kyrie until Houston is off the board as an option. So He's trying to play as there is noise in my headphones. He is trying to play the game of, hey, Houston Rockets, you better sign me really quick because other teams are interested in me. However, the Houston Rockets are like, bro, we don't want your drama. So if you don't know about the drama, stay tuned because I will tell you later on as the offseason goes on. So Kyrie Irving, Tyrese Maxey, and James Harden are 3 big names we all need to keep an eye on in the upcoming days as it relates to free agency in the NBA. That will do it. Well, actually, I have one more thing. I did not report on this, and I should have. Wednesday night, for only the 24th time in the MLB history, a pitcher has thrown a perfect game. It was a member of the New York Yankees. His last name is Guzman. I'm trying to open up the page. My computer is not cooperating right now. I'm scrolling. Domingo German throws the 24th perfect game in NBA. Oh my goodness. In MLB history. This is trash. Guys, I'm so sorry. This is just absolute garbage. Domingo German, as I'm sure it's pronounced, throws the 24th perfect game in MLB history. That is 27 batters up, 27 batters down. No one reaches a base, not a walk, not an error, not nothing. No one got on base for the Oakland Athletics. If their season could not get any worse, they just got perfect gamed by the New York Yankees. So this has been absolute garbage, and I apologize for that. But if you take away anything from this is Houston probably doesn't want Kyrie Irving, even though Kyrie Irving wants to sign there because they have all the money. James Harden is going to be traded from Philadelphia. Tyrese Maxey is not getting a contract extension in hopes that the Philadelphia 76ers can get Damian Lillard from Portland to Philadelphia. The Reds are good. The Orioles are good. The Rays are good. And the Pirates are bad. And even that was bad. I'm having a day. Until next time, until Monday, wash your hands, you filthy animals. God bless you all, and peace out.